Alright guys, and welcome back. In this section we're going to go dive deep into the data of audiences. So I use a tool that's called Supermetrics, and Supermetrics is amazing for pulling the data and making automated tasks just to look at data, analyze it quickly to make data-driven decisions, using that scientific method and gathering the data, okay? So first I'm going to show you how you could use this without using Supermetrics, and I'll show you how I use Supermetrics. Okay, so what we're doing here though, this is the part where I said if we're testing these campaigns, how do we know what audiences to use? Do we guess? No, we need to gather data. Okay, so for instance, one of the products we're going to call, so we put in the product name right here. So first thing you need to know in all of my naming conventions, first I always have the product name, then I have the interest, okay? So these ones, all of these ad sets say interest, they say the product name and then interest in the naming convention. All of these ad sets in this campaign say the product name and say LAA for lookalike audience. And this one just says a product name in US Open. And I do that on purpose so I could, aggregate the data easier just by typing in things and filtering it here, okay? So the last 7 days I was doing some small testing campaigns, and I typed in the product name here. So what this is telling me is the last 7 days, all of the data, what audiences worked the best. And it's really easy to see in here. Okay, so now if I'm going to make a new campaign from this product and I want to use interests, I know that this is what's working the best. So obviously these top 3 right here, top 2 really are doing the best. Okay, now if you don't have any purchases in the last 7 days or anything like that, you can go over other metrics like cost per click or the click-through rate, checkouts initiated, purchases, all that type of stuff. Okay, so that's really what how I use that to look at the data to make the decision. And I also have this report here. So when I figure out for our agency, what we do is we use this method here. We use 3 winners for every time it's a new, say we're testing new creatives. Because if you're testing new creatives against audiences that you don't know that work, you're just kind of blindly spending money because you're just saying, here's some new random material and here's some new random stuff. Good thing is it will probably still work because Facebook's, so it knows what to do, but you'll probably break even, okay? So what we do is we use 3 winners, okay? So, and I use a spreadsheet here, and what this is from Supermetrics. Supermetrics is awesome. It's like $800 for the whole year. And you could really do a lot of things with it. I have so much different spreadsheets and stuff on this. So I put in you put in all the ad accounts. I'm not going to tell you how to make this whole thing. It takes time. It's pretty complicated. But then you also put in all the metrics here that we're using. These are all the ones that are important to us for audience metrics, the KPIs. Then we also split it by the campaign name and the ad set name. So this is the campaign name, ad set names. And then it's also pretty cool is I can put the ad targeting right here. So it's kind of hard to read. I'll probably make this a different color, like blue or something like that. So, but if we want to, say this one, we're targeting Lululemon. Okay, that's one of the interests. If it's just a vague, it says Lululemon, but it could be a little more. This one just says magazines. Perfect, right? So we go here. What is it? It's Backpacker Magazine, Outside Magazine, Climbing Magazine. If you don't want to look through this data, if you don't like looking at that, you just click on this link here. It's going to take you to it right there. Okay, so that's how I have this set up. You look at that, and I have it color coded right here in Excel. And really, how you do that is just go over here to conditional formatting, and then you can put in some codes here. This makes it, you put in a code like that, and it will make it a formula so that it goes all the way across. So then my media buyer, he comes in here very easily, just looks at, okay, I can see I got a few winners here. Now I'm going to use my own biases because these are all green. So this one has 8 purchases. This one has 5, 8. So let's go off of this one, 8 and 7 ROAS with 8 purchases. You know, that's definitely a winner there. Let's use this one. So they picks 3 winners out of here. Okay, say it's creating a new campaign. We'll create those out of, and so you put the 3 winners right there. Okay, interest 1, 2, 3, the new testing campaign. Then he also gets 3 winner affinities. So then we take these 3 winners, we go over to audience insights, we plug them in right here. I put yoga pants for an example. We find the biggest affinity, we make sure that it matches. There's also this tool called Interest Explorer. What this does, it's a Chrome extension. I don't know why it's not logged in. Usually what it does is it gives you a little target next to the ones that are actually interests. You know how you have to copy and paste, type it in here and make sure it's an actual interest. Just go to Interest Explorer, get their tool there. It will put a little arrow next to the ones that are actually interests. So then you don't have to waste your time doing that. So say this was one, we check out the page, we verify it really is. Obviously got a high affinity. If that's an interest there, we would use that as one of the audiences. So we use 3 winner affinities. Now we got 6 audiences. We need 4 more. So then we do 2 supersets, which is 2 combinations. One of what we think is the best. So one would be of combinations of these. So say this travel and nature one, that one, plus another winner affinity combined. You know, we would do 2 of those. Then also 2 intuitions, because if you have a machine and it's constantly feeding off, ingesting off the same data, you need to also add in some new creative data to it to keep it running efficiently. So that's where we use the 2 intuitions. And I sent them so data driven. I still go off of data a little bit. Say I would usually go to use Google Trends, get some cool ideas from here. You know, there's a lot of things you could do in Google Trends also to come up with some data. So even if you just want to do locations, you click this right here, it downloads a CSV of all the top locations. You could even use that just to target the locations. I personally found US Open to be better than trying to do locations yourself. But there's different things you could do. You could, you know, compare different things in here and come with other ideas also off of here. And also just whatever you think. You're like, I've always wanted to try this. You never know. That's why you should do 20% of your intuition, 80% of it coming strictly off of data. Okay? So that's how we find the data right here. I create a report to go off of the data, and this is going off of purchase, ROAS, and if it's not that, it's rather the initiate checkout or the cost per add to cart. That's how we have this set up to see which ones are working. This is actually the whole month, and it's what this is here. It's I'll show you real quick one more time. And Supermetrics, if you do set this up, Supermetrics is amazing. So we go over here. It actually contains interest and it contains the product name in the ad set. Because remember, I put that in there when my naming conventions on purpose. So then the last 7 days, I'm actually going to put this over to a month. I think someone changed that. It should be to a month. But I think maybe it was set like that. But anyways, the last 30 days, it should have the month data, so we get the most data recently of this product and all the interests. Then we have other ones that are set up just for lookalikes. Look at the data there, and we make those decisions. Okay, so then we put that in here. We have one, like I said, off lookalikes, and then if you don't have any place to start the lookalikes, use those ones that I showed you to start off. And then we also have US Open. That's how we find the audiences. All right, to figure out which to test against the creatives. Okay, so another thing that we do, if you don't have any lookalike audience data for some reason, and you could use the audiences that I showed you how to make in the analytics section. I also wanted to show you one more way to make good audiences. All right. So this works well specifically with the highest value conversion. The highest value delivery optimization. So you go in here, you create lookalike audience, okay? Then you want to go to value-based sources, and then you want to click on your pixel, All right. Now what you want to do is you want to come in here and you want to say, okay, so obviously you put in your country. Now what it's doing, it's finding the highest people that have the highest value to your customer, the highest lifetime value, the highest order value, people are spending the most, okay? Highest value pass, $1,000, okay? I think that's for unique customers, yeah. So um, then you can make audiences off this, and then what you want to do is you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, test those, and then what you'd want to do is come in here to the create an ads manager, and then when you create an ad, you want to change all of these over to, actually this isn't going to work because it's already published. I'll just create a new one. See, it says highest value or lowest cost. These work better, and they're going to make it mandatory actually for using these pixel audiences I just showed you how to create. You want to go over here and change this to value. This is to get you higher ROAS, return to ad spend, people spend more value. Match that with that pixel audience I showed you how to create. And that's another way to really get audiences made to test. Okay, so interest, you really want to go off the data because an interest that's a little bit wrong could be way wrong. That takes a while to narrow down, and once you get narrowed, really extremely targeted interests that work, and a lot of times they're just single interests too. That could be a lot better than lookalikes I've found. Okay, so this takes more of data extrapolation. This is more of a refining specific to the pixel data, or not the pixel data, but the pixel saying the data is from the account. And then this is United States open because you have so much advanced matching data on your ad account. It just knows your customer type already and just finding it for you. Okay, that's how you find the audience in this testing phase. All right. So what we do here is first we test these three for 3 days. Okay, we don't touch them for 3 days. Then we come over here. After 3 days, we duplicate the winners over into this new campaign. Now, if you are using, the problem is, if you are using the value, you can't add value in a CBO. You can't have optimized for value deliver and conversions in the same campaign. So usually we just use conversions. Sometimes we use value and we'll just refine this and make it its own campaign. But recently we've just been using conversions. I just wanted to show you that for the value. Test it for you. There's no right or wrong way, okay? So I'm going to show you in Win Ads. This is where you could come in here and you could put in the content ID, and it's the same thing. It just, all Win Ads does is it reduces the time to get the same result. So that's really what it does here. I could have the look back period. All you could, because the thing is, when you make a Facebook audience, especially a lookalike audience, so we're using this one, and we're going to use the United States. It takes a long time to test, to build all these things. I mean, not a super long time, but it does take time that's wasted. You have to make the first one, make the second percent, the third percent. With ads, you can come here and just go like this. Thought they had the drag feature, I guess not. So you go here. Now you got all those. All you have to do is hit create audience once. It's going to create all those audiences. Okay. This, you don't need to select anything that could just be empty. Custom range. So if you want to do, if you want to do something weird, 19 to 20%, just test that. So yeah, you could add range. You could, make a bunch of different ones. Thing is that it would take you about 15 minutes to do all these different ranges here and all these different regular ones here. And you can just press one button and get it all there. All right. So that's the main thing for Win Ads. You also have where you can look at the stats and stuff like that. I don't have this hooked up to one of my main clients' Pixel yet, so that's why I don't have any data right here. But this stats, this will show you all, which is really awesome. If you say this product, how come we're getting all these people showing interest but no one buying this product? Is it a CRO problem? So it's an amazing. There's a lot of things you could do in Win Ads that a lot of times you could do outside of the software. You could build a bunch of supermetric sheets. You could dive deep into Google Analytics. You could go in the analytics section of Facebook. But the thing is, and I used to do all that stuff. So then I always think is I just need to build a software for this. So I partnered with them and we came together and I advised them how to build this software. And it's all the same stuff that I do in my SOPs, but now it just takes a click to make it all happen. Okay, so it just saves time and saves money. So that's what WinAds does. So that's how you, this is the audience section. And first what we do is we use, again, the three winner affinities, 2 supersets, which is combinations of these, and then 2 intuitions, which what we think. Okay, and that's just for one. That's 10. So for the interest testing, and then we would do the same thing for the lookalike testing. All right, now that wraps up for the audience section. Next, we're going to talk about creatives. Hope to see you in the very next lecture. Thanks.